You have over 1,100 songs. How do you plan to release them?
Whenever I get the time to release them.
That's a lot of hours in the studio.
I know, bro, but you see, that's why I had to like put the studio in my house. So basically I record from my digs. Just come from work, get go house, take a shower, and you know, just hop in the studio and do something. Yeah, man.
And how did the hustling aspect start?
Things was bad before, yani, as in the way we were growing up and everything. And at some point, I had to move out of my mom's house, not because I wanted to, it's because I had to. And I had to do like something for my siblings to eat, and you know, I just had to start from somewhere. And you know, it started with things like phones, some laptops, desktops, anything, man. At some point, you know, I was in the barber shop just trying to, you know, learn how to, just any hustle that will come my way, and lazima tu ningeroll now. Yeah, man.
And speaking of you growing up, let's talk about your dad. You guys were never in good terms. You've even said it in your music.
Me and the old man never saw eye to eye, and the next thing they tell me is that your papa has died. Old man, you left me with more questions than answers. Stress pande zote majama siini ulcers.
It was hard, you know, like I said, you know, saa zingine kukosa pesa, yani, or having, poverty just brings a lot of things with it, man. So you have it today, tomorrow it's all gone. And you know, the blame game starts. Well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you can't do this, and just one thing led to the other, and because of maybe pressure, I guess that's why it ended up the way it did. And this is what I have to say: if you have your pops with you right now, kama yuko alive, and you got beef with him, and mtafute saizi na mwambie you're sorry for what you have done, and you just apologize to your pops. I don't care if he wasn't there, kama yuko, kama alikuwa na doi kaisha, kama aliwa betray, just go and make peace with your pops. Some of us, we wish for that opportunity to just sit down and, you know, and talk to like, you know, like someone about my life and everything that I've been through. Just go make peace with your pops, man. It's one thing for him to be here, and another thing knowing that you'll never see him again. So if you have the opportunity to just do things right with him, and that was easy.
Yeah, man, I can relate with losing a parent because I lost my mom 2 years ago. So it's very deep. And we at Flex World Motors. Yeah, how did this hustle come to mind? Kuuza gari.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is, man. So, yeah, man, this is where we make it happen. This is where Mr. Mangiri So comes from, bro.
I make 100,000 on a bad day, make another 100 on a good day.
Na nimeacha tu hizo doko hao, na nilikuwa nasema ama nikam nazo ona sasa.
Yeah.
Kini ina noma yani.
Mayouth wengi wapendangi kuanzia chini, you know, wapendangi kushow, yani mimi naanza from the bottom. In a world of business, what is it that you can tell them?
Not even youths only, man. Like we young people, yani, of these days, we are ashamed of being associated with a lot of things. Yani zenye kitu ka islay, yani wewe utaki kuwa part of. If you don't wanna get your hands dirty because hiyo kazi si, yani hiyo itachoma pale IG, is juta do nini huko. You can't drive always buy, uko na so mbili unataka kubai moti lakini huwezi buy kaki AT because your pal akona ingine huko noma. So you go, unaenda unachukua loan, una set, hawezi lipa, huwezi fanya nini, you've not even planned yourself accordingly. So you go and take that loan and buy that new whip so that you go impress people on IG na hapo nje. 2 months later, unanyang'anywa gari. Ukishanyang'anywa gari, sisi wenye tulibai KAT kitambo tukiziuzanga tuko na mado. Tunaitwa tuchukue hiyo gari yako na pesa kidogo, tunaichukua alafu tunakaa tunauza. Hizo release, you gotta be smart, man. Vakia tu yenye na kutoshea. Kama hapa ndio unafit, mfuko inasema hapa, kubali hapo manze. It's baby steps to kwenda just one day at a time, man. Learn, grow, get paper, stack mula every day.
Ooh, how long have you had this?
Mimi kwa nauza gari. I started selling whips since like back in 2013 actually. 2014 we started broking cars, you know, picture like ko Facebook, like OLX. Not OLX wasn't even there. Something called like Google Trader. So you just post things up. Mteja naona nakama unalipwa 5K, you paid 10 grand. Then I got my first 50K. I didn't even have a bank account. I say ido kuanzia leo haitairudi 49K.
Oh,
that was back in 2014 when I got my first 50K. Ido haitaingia 49,000. Haijai mpaka leo.
What does it take to run a car business? From policies to maintenance?
I think like this one cuts across, but number one is product knowledge. You need to know your cars first.
Wow.
You need to know your cars. You need to understand the markets. You need to understand customer preferences in terms of maybe, you know, like maybe the transmission or whatever stuff. And you really need to be conversant also with technology and the way this. Basically, just product knowledge in general. Yeah.
And how many employees do you have currently?
Currently, I think I have like around 6 or 7.
We are going through a very trying times. How's business for you, and how do you look at the future?
You know, like generally, I think things are bad, like across globally, I think things are bad. But at the same time, I would still, yani, nawakashifu in terms of there's still a lot of corruption and stuff that also is coming about or is being handled in a very, very bad way, because we're still getting more cases on the rise. Lack of basic things like the masks and stuff. Jack Ma is bringing them in for free. Then you have this crew starting to sell these things that are supposed to be given to these people down there. So if wewe kwanza wewe mwenye unauza mask ya watu wenye wako chini, wewe ukikosa kuwapatia hiyo mask watakosa kuivaa, alafu corona itawachukua, and then you will have no one to sell your things to.
Yeah.
Acha kutubeba ufala.
Nice one. You are dad of 2 girls. How do you make sure you raise them right in an industry that you are in?
I am the #1 advocator or what? I am the #1 advocator of proper music that is sensible and that does not portray our girls as just mere objects, sexual objects and stuff like that. And nimekosana na watu wengi sana je story, and one of the reasons why I'm very vocal about it is because, you know, I have kids myself. I would not want to see my 13-14-year-old girl in some cheap video, you know, twerking, man. I mean, that thought just drives me crazy, man. I mean, like, I don't know, you wouldn't want to see your daughter doing.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
I know even those people out there who doing this particular type of things, they wouldn't even want to put their sisters in those videos. You get?
Yeah.
So I am trying to just preach sanity, and because I have kids and girls that I know they are gonna, like, you know, be there.
How's co-parenting for you? Because they have different moms.
Nakazana. You know, like, first of all, you gotta take care of your babies, you understand? Whether you're with the other person or liachana, you just gotta take care of, that's your blood. You gotta take care. So for me, any opportunity that I get to be there for my kiddos, I will always just, you know, go all out.
You're the king of boots now. I can see a lot of Subarus. Is that like your #1 car? Was it the first car you ever had?
Subarus is my life. I'm into cars, yes, but Subarus is more of my passion in cars, because I have a race car, I have a car, I have a Subi, that's a Subi. I also have a Subi that is just specifically for road trips. I have a Subi kuingia nao kwa concert.
Hey.
I have a Subi that ya ku flex yani. So because it's something that I understand both mechanically, the market and stuff like that. So I focus on that.
And even dress according to the color of the car you're...
Yeah, we have to color coordinate, man. That has been ritual for ever since I can remember. These are 20s.
These are 20s?
Yeah, these are 20-inch rims. This is my favorite. She's called Big Mama.
And you know OG and you just like the old school version, you know.
Yeah, I'm a classic guy, man. I'm a classic guy. If you look at my whips, man.
You mentioned there's so many things that are happening and are going wrong in this country. If you're in a position of power, like the president, how would you run this country?
If I was the president of Kenya, I'd call a press conference. And this is what I'd say. Fellow Kenyans, we will eat. I will eat with my people. Nitakula, nimalize, na nitawapea marupurupu. And my reasons for doing that is because when I told you I am not competent, or rather even you knew I was not competent to be here, lakini kwa sababu tumetoka ushago moja, you decided to put me here. My brother from the other side of Kenya, he was more competent than me. He is more competent than me. There are other Kenyans out there that are more competent than the people that I've put here. Lakini mulisema mimi ni wenyu na mnakufa na mimi. So ng'ang'aneni, mimi nakula, nimalize na nitawacha mkiwa hali mbaya. Lakini nikitoka, before mweke mwingine hapa, fikirieni, msijikute na mtu mwingine kama mimi. Scorpion.
And also, you know, one thing that you've touched a lot in your music is you've been at a brink of committing suicide, depression, kitu umepitia.
Jungle one man, nobody on my side. The thoughts in my head, I'm contemplating suicide.
To someone who's going through that right now.
You picture a scenario where, first of all, like you are working and then you get fired, and then I had like, that's the first time, and my baby mama was just pregnant, like she was like 3 months pregnant, and then I get fired. Now you got no job, you got nothing, and that's where the struggle started, you understand? So I just started like selling anything that could come my way in terms of phones and electronics, you know, like we come from the Eastlands, man. So yani mali kikam, yani una roll tu nayo. And then later when my kid was like 2 years, things really got bad for me. And that's when now my baby mama decided that this is not gonna work out, and you know, and one thing led to the other. She left, and it was really hard for me. About 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, me and my pops were not even seeing eye to eye, and I got a call from Ocha that they telling me that my pops has died. You understand? Now you put all those things together. You broke. You don't even have a place to stay. I remember at some point I slept. There's a roundabout here. In Selassie, there's a seat over there. That's where I slept one night, man, because I was just tired. I said, this is it, man. I used to talk yani, by myself when I'm walking on the road, and guys were like, hey, jamani kama ameshafia yani, you get. And that was, it was really difficult, and a lot of suicide thoughts came to me, like, man, this is it, man, I can't take this anymore, you understand? But then again, in the back of my mind, I was like, I got a little girl that is looking up to me. How am I gonna do this and leave my kid without a pops who I wasn't even seeing eye to eye with? And now he's gone, and now I'm gonna subject my little girl to that kind of life. I say, no man, let me just push it like one more time. One of my homeboys called me. He used to have like a small studio in town, and he was like, yo bro, I'm starting a small studio here, Nini. So would you mind, and just come and start again? I think I was in that office by 4 in the morning and just waiting for the guy outside. So I got the place. We just started doing like small music and stuff like that. Then I used to sleep in that studio, and they didn't even know that I used to sleep there. So just in the evening when I talk to the guards, Nini, just get like 100, or let me just don't tell anyone I was here and stuff like that. And that's how it started. Then back in the streets again, in town, started selling now just again. And anything that comes my way that we can flip for an extra 100 or 2, that's where it began. That is 20. It's not even Tambo, unless I'm talking 2014, 2015. Yeah, man. Like no, not 20. I think it was 2013 or 2012, 2013 thereabouts. That's where I started. And one of the things that I had to do first of all is to accept that I don't have. I had to accept that I cannot fake it anymore. Self-acceptance in terms of sina. Kwanza nijikubali nimesota, and that I have no point to prove to anyone. You get? So this is me, I don't have, and this is what I have right now. So let me make the best of what I have. So it was 300 and 400 and 500 and just checking out music, and I used to do gospel music back in the day. So that's where it started, man. And I had a show. I did a show, and we were paid a lot of money, and that whole money disappeared with some other ninja out there who owned that studio. And that's another series for another time. And then I was back on the streets again. That was now beginning of 2014 or 2013. And I said, I am not doing this anymore. And I went back because, me being like, so a street yani. So I said, from today henceforth, man, I'm just walking around all these showrooms in Kangundo Road, taking pictures of cars and start selling that. And that's how it started, man. Like I said, I got my first 50 grams. I said it was never going back to 49. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the king of boost, Scorpion, the only ninja who's putting his money where his mouth is, and it is what it is. Yeah.